What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles YouTube channel. Today is the Memphis Cities round number 3. Let's see if I can remember everything. Round 1, we saw Noivern versus Mega Manetric. Round 2, we saw Sizetoad Giratina versus a Mega Manetric. But this time around, we have a Magnezone Raikou Pikachu EX deck on the left, piloted by Justin Aaron. And on the right, we have Zach Holtzman playing his Vespiquen deck. It looks like he's playing Entei as well. And this should be an interesting matchup because both players basically are attacking with 9 EX Pokemon. It's basically going to see who's going to whiff basically Pokemon, and let's see. Alright, it seems like Justin is starting the game. We see a Lightning going into Remoraid, and it looks like we just see a Sycamore from Justin, discarding his hand, drawing 7 cards. Now we see that Justin does have a Jirachi, which could come in play if Zach does decide to put a Vespiquen with a DC on it. And we see that Zach also does play his own Jirachi to counter those pesky DC decks like Sideshow to Giratina. So, Justin's going to play an Ultra Ball, discarding a Lightning and a Flash Energy. It looks like he's eyeballing Magnemite. Now, Magnemite's obviously a good choice because you want to get the Magnemite down, next turn with a Rare Candy and Magnezone, and you want to start getting Magnezone out into play to start using this ability to attach as many Lightning Energies onto your Pokemon. Usually onto Raikou, because it does 50 and the 20 plus for each Lightning Energy. And we see that Justin does have the Octillery. It looks like he's just going to pass with this Remoraid in the active spot. Now into Zach's turn. We're going to see a Battle Compressor, and we're going to see him discard a Gallade. A Gallade and Maxis. Now, if Zach has a turn 1 Gallade here, that would be really good, just so he can use a Premonition ability. Being able to look at his top 5 cards every turn is a great ability. But we see Zach play a Birch. Sam was like Buddy Rescue and a bunch of stuff he really couldn't play down to use the Maxis, which I guess is fine. I would rather have discarded like some Sycamore and stuff like that. And we see, Birch flipping heads. There you go. We see, Zach has double DC, a Vespiquen, a Vespiquen, Buddy Rescue, a Town Map. Gonna flip over his 6 prize cards. We see a Combi, Vespiquen, Lava Ball, Muscle Band, another Entei, and a Sycamore. We see Zach gets a Lava Ball, getting out a Combi, and he can attach that DC from his hand onto that Combi. He does have 2 in his hand already. So let's see what Zach does. I mean, I would definitely probably attach the DC, but no, we see Zach not do that. He's going to just pass. On Justin's turn, we see the Octillery come down, use an Abyssal Hand to drop up to 5. He actually attached the Lightning Energy to Octillery, which doesn't really matter. He can just retreat it into the Jirachi. We see Justin's eyeballing his Sycamore. Going to play the Sycamore, discard his hand, draw 7 cards. Now, Justin does not have anything. It doesn't look like he has a Rare Candy Magnezone. We see a Lava Ball, and if he does play Magneton, he could get the Magneton out, and that way next turn he can just manually evolve into the Magnezone, but we see another Magnemite just coming back into play. Maybe Justin has a Magneton prize. Maybe he doesn't play Magneton. I'm not sure what his list actually consists of. I haven't really seen it. We see a Trader's Mail from Justin. It looks like he's going to use it. I don't think any of those cards are really that useful. Maybe the Judge, but nope, we're just going to see Justin not really get anything, gonna just say, nope, I don't really need these cards, I already have a supporter, or a card I want to play the next turn, so I'm not really gonna grab anything. Like I said, the only remotely good one it kind of looked like was maybe the, what was it? The Judge. But on to Zach's turn, we see a DC going on Combi, we see a Vespiquen come out, and I'm kind of wondering why Zach didn't attach the DC last turn, so that way he can switch right now. And it looks like we're going to see Zach eyeball the Birch. Going to use the Birch, going to flip a coin, and let's see if Zach can go 2 for 2 on Birch. He did flip heads the first time around, and if Zach can get this, I mean, right now he only has 2 Glades in the discard pile. Looks like we're going to see 4 cards from Zach, flipping tails, but he does have the Compressor. He can start discarding some cards. Maybe the Evolution's live? We're gonna see Zach discard a Lysander. I'm sorry, I don't know if y'all can hear me yet. Y'all don't know, I don't know what's going on. But we see Zach discard a Lysander, a Jirachi, and a Fire Energy. Now, With Vespiquen, you usually want to discard Pokemon fairly quickly with Battle Compressor, so I wonder why Zach is playing conservative. We know there's not really anything in his prize cards. We see that he has 3 Pokemon in the discard pile. And just a pass from Zach. Oh, yep, pass from Zach. So on to Justin's turn. We see another Magnemite coming down. We see a burst from Justin. And I think the other Magnemites is for the paralyzation, maybe? Not sure why it's played, but we're gonna see a Birch, and let's see what happens this turn. Justin's giving his deck a good shuffle. Want to make sure everything's randomized. I didn't see any rare candies, and not sure what that was. Oh, looks like it was just Tails. Getting only 4 cards. We save it level ball from Justin, and just gonna fail it, I guess. Like I said, if he doesn't play Magnezone, that's why he's not grabbing it, or maybe it's prized. It's hard to tell. Okay, and looks like we're just gonna see a pass. Okay, then okay, so we see a lightning energy going on Raikou. Maybe he can start using maybe powered up next turn. It needs 2 more lightning energies to actually start attacking, and we just see a pass on to Zach's turn. All right, so let's see. Zach gets a fire energy to that Jirachi. We see Sycamore discarding sand, draws 7 cards. We see that he discarded 2 more Pokemon because he saw that 3 turn into a 5. Now Zach's going to need a Combi down. I'm not sure what Zach discarded with the. Looks like he's discarding a Jolteon and a Vespiquen. We see an Eevee come down. Zach needs to use that Ultra Ball to get out a Combi. I think he had an Ultra Ball in there. Maybe I'm crazy, but we see a retreat into the Jirachi. And yeah, he has the Ultra Ball. He needs to get out of Combi unless he's going to start attacking with Entei next turn. We see an Ultra Ball, discarding a Hex. And a Flareon. Now, the good thing about Zach playing Hex is maybe he can get into a weird situation where he has enough Pokemon in the discard pile, and he can use Bee Revenge to knock out a Magnezone, and then use the Hex Maniac to play it to kind of shut down Magnezone's ability, or knock out a Raikou, and then use Magnezone's ability. Now we see Zach taking a knockout, and he's going to decide what to get. Looks like he's grabbing the Muscle Band. Very interesting. We'll see Owen and Justin's turn. Use Super Rod, put back a Magnezone, a Magnemite, and it looked like a Lightning Energy. I didn't even notice that Justin actually discarding a Magnezone. Alright, so Super Rod from Justin. And let's see what Justin's going to go for. He's going to look through Zach's discard pile, see what he's all played, and let's see what Justin does here. He does have a Judge in his hand. He could play that. Yep, he's going to judge both players to 4. Now, Zach hasn't played any of his unknowns. I mean, I don't know if Zach's playing Unknown. I just imagine he's playing Unknown. Most Vespiquen decks do play Unknown, which is great for Zach because if he does top deck an Unknown, he can just Farewell Letter to draw more cards and to put more Pokemon in the discard pile. So it's like a win-win situation. Now, we see Justin does have a Ultra Ball and a Trainer's Mail. Okay, that's not good cards for Justin. Justin has yet to have the Rare Candy Magnezone combo in his hand, and we just see Justin not really getting anything. His deck is kind of like really thin. He doesn't have much left in his deck. I think he's played through a lot already. It's hard to tell when it's moving fast. We see a Lightning Energy going out to Jirachi. We see an Abyssal Hand drawn up to 5. We see Retreat from the Magnemite, and he's going to use Stardust to discard that DC, making it where Jirachi cannot be hurt next turn, and on to Zach's turn. I really do like that play a lot by Justin. Now, the Magnemite had free treat because of its ability, so don't be too confused. Now, on to Zach's turn, we see a Muscle Band going down to the Entei. It looks like Zach's looking through his discard pile to see if he has enough to Blacksmith this turn. Versus Seeker, and let's see what he decides to get. Now, if he does get a Blacksmith here, nope, just a Sycamore. I was going to say, if he did get a Blacksmith, it doesn't really, like, matter because, like the Jirachi's not hurt by Blacksmith or by attack this turn. So we see an Unknown come down, and what Zach's supposed to do here? Probably just retreat into somebody and just pass and let maybe somebody else get hit for a knockout. You don't want your Vespiquen to get knocked out. You kind of want to conserve them. We see a Flareon coming down, so that way Zach can Blacksmith onto Vespiquen at any moment he wants to. And will Zach keep the Vespiquen in the active spot? We see a Farewell Letter drawn 1 card. We're going to see what just happened. Okay, I'm not sure what happened. But they receive a love ball for an unknown. Maybe Zach accidentally saw the next card in play. But we're gonna see another farewell letter to draw a card. And okay, now he has a DC in hand. Zach wants to keep on to that DC. He does not want to play it down right now because he cannot hurt this Drachi. Smart move by Zach. Now I guess he doesn't want to promote the Drachi and or Flare because he doesn't have a way to retreat it next turn. And on to Justin's turn. He's looking through his discard pile, see when he's all played. He does have the Lightning and Ultra Ball. If Justin plays a Skyla, he could Ultra Ball for 2, get a Magnezone, and then he gets Skyla for a rare candy. We see the rare candy, the Magnezone going to his hand. Does he have the rare candy ready to go? Will Justin start attacking this turn with the Raikou? There's a rare candy, Magnezone, okay. And we're going to see Abyssal Hand drawn up to 5. And he did get 2 Lightning Energies, so we will see this Raikou do 110. Justin's finally ready to go to start taking a knockout. It took about 5 or 6 turns to get this Magnezone out. So we see attachment, and I'll probably see a retreat from the Jirachi and a knockout onto his Vespiquen, because this Raikou will do 110 damage. It does 50 plus 20 for each Lightning Energy on it. And we're going to see Justin look through his discard pile and notice there is a bunch of Lightning Energies in his discard pile. He does have the Fishman in hand that he can play right now, and looks like he's going to use it to get 3. Alright, and we're going to see 1 going to Jirachi and 3 going to Raikou. Oh wow, that's a really, really good play for Justin. Now this way, if Vespiquen does not get a Blacksmith this turn, Justin can retaliate with the Jirachi. And even if it does, we just regardless, we can see the Raikou knock out this Vespiquen. So Zach is in a pickle right now. We see an unknown, Kobe come down. You see a DC going out to the Vespiquen. And does Zach, if Zach has a Lysander right now, he could take out the Jirachi theoretically and make it where Justin doesn't have the Stardust play anymore. We're going to see a farewell letter, drawing a card. I'm not sure what Zach is looking for. He drew a Sycamore. Probably not what he wanted to see, I imagine. So now if Zach can Verse Seeker for a Blacksmith, retreat to an Entei, will do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. That's not a knockout. Never mind. We're going to see a burst from Zach. And let's see, does it get heads or tails? Now, Zach might want to flip tails here because it looks like his deck might be running thin as well. Okay, so tails. Only 4, but I'm not sure what's in his deck either. I can't really tell how many cards are in there. And let's see what happens. We're going to see a B range for knockout. Looks like Zach is eyeballing that VS Seeker that he just grabbed. Alright, on to Justin's turn. Now, he does have the teammates. He could teammates for any 2 cards. I'm not sure what he's going to get, though. We'll find out together. Maybe a Rare Candy Magnezone, just get another Magnezone out. Maybe Energy Retrieval, get back some Lightning Energies. Maybe be ready for next turn, get a Lysander. There's a lot of options that Justin can do here. We'll see what he decides to do. Just waiting to see what teammates, because teammates lets you grab any 2 cards out of your deck if a Pokemon is knocked out during the last turn. So we see 1 card, and let's see what the other card's going to be. Looks like Justin's might be debating the Lysander. So he gets a Lysander, and I'm not sure what the other card was really. Teammates it's a very awkward situation right now because Justin has pretty much everything he needs. He just needs he basically needs another Raikou for next turn is what he realistically needs. We see he has a Pikachu EX in his hand. Now he doesn't want to put that down because Pikachu just can get automatically knocked out. Now we see B Revenge just doing 10 damage, gonna get rid of that DCE. Which is the kind of downside of Jirachi. Yeah, you're discarding the DCEs, but you're wasting a turn just to discard a DCE in a timed format. Now, Memphis Cities is best 2 out of 3, so Justin probably has plenty of time to do this whole, I'm going to discard all your DCEs, make it where you can never attack. Now, we're going to see Zach attach a Fire Energy to the Jirachi for some reason. I would definitely have attached a Fire Energy to Entei, but we're going to see it go to Jirachi. And it looks like we might see a Stardust. Okay, a Blacksmith. Blacksmith's gonna put 2 Fire Energies on. Let's see, where does it go? Onto the bench, Entei. Okay. Now, Entei cannot take a knockout right now. I think it only does 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Now, we see what just happened. What is going on here? That Jirachi should not be taking damage. Because Justin last turn used Stardust to get rid of the DC off the active Vespiquen. So that Jirachi should have 0 damage. I'm so confused right now. Alright, so we see Justin's going to Lysander, bring up the Ante, and he's going to use Reiku to knock out the Ante, put a lightning energy on the Jirachi, and Abyssal Hand to draw more cards. Now, on to Zach's turn, when this happens, he's going to need to be revenge. I don't know why Justin really went after this Entei. Like, the Entei is not really threatening a knockout. Well, he put it on another Reiku, so now it is. But I think it was only doing 120, which is not enough. We're going to see Vespiquen come into active spot, and on to Zach's turn. Now, Zach does have that Vespiquen in hand. I think so. Yeah, so he can Vespiquen for Blacksmith, knock out this Reiku, and then Justin will have to draw into a Fisherman and or an Energy Retrieval with an energy to knock out his Vespiquen, and it gets into a weird situation for sure. But let's see, Zach's eyeballing that VS Seeker, and like I said, I would definitely grab the VS Seeker to turn to use Blacksmith because your Vespiquens are Fire type, and there it is. So Blacksmith gonna put 2 Fire Energies on the active Vespiquen, and we're gonna see Big Revenge knock out this Reiku. Yes, I think so. I think that's what's going to happen. Yep. And we're going to see Zach gets a Combi. Alright, so on to Justin's turn. I imagine, okay, you're going to set the Reiku. Maybe Justin knows he has it. I don't know if he's played the Fisherman down. I've definitely seen his hand multiple times. And let's see if Justin does that. Eyeballing, what do I do? Looks like he's contemplating Ultra Ball. He's looking to see how many cards left in his deck. It's not that many for sure. He definitely can't play Sycamore because he might deck out. Then we've seen Ultra Ball discarding Ultra Ball in a Remoraid, getting another Magnezone out, so that way he can, I guess, have 2, just in case if one does get knocked out next turn. Okay, so let's see what happens. Now I don't think Justin has used Abyssal Hand as well, so Justin can Abyssal Hand this turn. Now he's probably contemplating, do I put down this Pikachu EX? I wouldn't. That's a free 2 price cards for Zach. We're gonna see a Fisherman getting 4 energies out of his discard pile. 1, 2, 3, and let's see where this 4th one goes. Onto a Magnezone, okay, and Abyssal Hand drawn up to 5. We see a rare candy Magnezone coming out, so Justin now has 2 Magnezones. So if Zach does somehow knock out one this turn, Justin should be okay. Now on to Zach's turn. We're going to see Vespiquen come into active spot. Now, Zach does have 3 price cards, and I think Justin has 3 as well. Maybe 2. I can't tell. Justin's sleeves or price cards are kind of all together, so you really can't see how many are left. We see an Unknown come down from Zach. We're going to see a Farewell Letter to draw a card. Now, does Zach have another Verse Seeker to use a Blacksmith? That would be pretty devastating for Justin. Let's see what Zach does. He's looking through his deck to see how many cards, or he's counting how many cards left in his deck. And I see like Double Birch, Sycamore, and something else. Definitely not a Verse Seeker. So looks like we're going to see a Super Rod. Is that a Trainer's Mail? Zach's saying that's a Trainer's Mail. He definitely needs to play that right now to try to dig out that Verse Seeker. Or maybe Zach wants to get another Combi. That could be another possibility. But he has another Vespiquen on the bench, so I'm not really sure. Or another Combi on the bench. I'm not really sure what Zach's doing. If that's a Trainer's Mail. If that's not a Trainer's Mail, then Zach's playing it perfectly. And let's see what's he going to do. We're going to see Retreat into the Jirachi. Okay. And okay, just a pass. I think Reiku is resistant to steel. So Stardust would literally do 0 damage and has no effect because there's no special energy card play. We see that Justin plays Verse Seeker for Lysander. Bring up one of the Vespiquens to take a knockout, or the only Vespiquen, sorry about that. I keep thinking the Combi is that Vespiquen. And we see Vespiquen get knocked out. And on to Zach's turn. Zach is in a pickle. Justin looks like he has this game wrapped up remotely. We see a DC being top decked by Zach. Zach's saying, man, if I had this last turn, I could have beat your range for the knockout. We see Sycamore for Zach. Go to deck out. And that's pretty much the game. We're going to see a Vespiquen come down. Unless Zach has like 2 Super Rods in his hand. But nope. Alright, so we see that Justin's going to win game 1. Now, like I said earlier, this is a best 2 out of 3. So, anything can happen game 2. Justin did take a while to set up, and so does Zach. But, I don't know, maybe some, like, I'm still trying to figure out why Zach opted not to like attach a DC turn one. I mean, I guess we know he does play that Justin does play Jirachi, so maybe that's why Zach was like, I don't want to put down this DC right now, and the Jirachi smack it and get rid of it. But that kind of made Zach with a turn of not retreating, turn one to start using Be Revenge by turn two. And here we go. Oh, nope, Justin's gonna take his time shuffling up. Make sure all of his cards all randomized so everything is stacked together. Make sure you got some bottle of water. You know, you always need some water. Shout out to some water. Shout out to Clay Mitchell for actually hosting this tournament as well. And shout out to 60 cards. Look at that sweet mat and the Team Fish Knuckles mat on the left as well. I think it's cool that we have both mats out here, basically supporting everything that this, like, basically what this YouTube channel runs. I just need to get a TCG Insider mat. I gotta make one or make something for TCG Insider. But once we do that, we'll have everything good to go. Now let's see what happens. Okay, Justin's still shuffling his deck up. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. And okay, so Justin gets. Oh, looks like he's mulling in turn one, and we're gonna see Justin probably shuffle for another 30 minutes. All right, me go see if I can find some water quick while Justin shuffles. Let's see. But now, what can happen in game two? Well, what's going to happen in game two is Zach's not going to want to whiff a turn one attack like we saw last time. Okay, so we see Justin starts a Raikou. Okay. Alright, so here we go. Now, Zach starts Spinarak, and he's going to Ultra Ball, discard a Sycamore, and okay, double Sycamore. Nope, a Hex Maniac. Okay, and I imagine this will get down a Combi. I imagine we'll see Combi come down. Okay, so Combi comes down into play. Now, I imagine Zach does not want to put down any like Shamans or anything because that's some easy life center targets, especially with Raikou. Well, Raikou already takes a knockout regardless. So we've seen Ultra Ball discarding a Sycamore and a Vespiquen. And let's see what Zach goes here. He's going for an unknown. Maybe start powering up that Be Revenge. Like I said, you don't put down Shaman really, because like it's a free 90x. It's a free EX target for your opponent. And we see Feral Letter for one. Oh wow, double Verseeker. Like I'm not sure why Zach decided to use the unknown. Like usually you want to save it for later in the game, or like you usually don't want to use it automatically. Now we see that Zach did prize two Combis. Holy cow! Looks like we're seeing Love Ball probably get out another Combi. So there's two Combis, a Jolteon, a Fire, Flareon, and a Muscle Band in his discard pile. We're going to see Zach go for an unknown. And let's see if Zach's going to opt to use it right now. I mean, I wouldn't, like, man. Like, you kind of want to save your unknowns. Like, there's no real need to play it right now. Like, if Zach wanted another Pokemon, he could have just Love Ball for it. And we see once again that Zach is not... I think there's a DC in Zach's hand, so we see once again that Zach is opting not to attach the energy for his first turn. Which, I don't know, it seems like it might backfire. Because now, like, Zach's going to have to hit, like, a DC and a switch to attack next turn. Unless that's not a DC in his hand, but it looked like it was a DC. It's looking like we see a teammates from Justin. And we see an Ultra Ball from Justin, discarded teammates, and an Octillery. Maybe get down a Remoraid. Oh no, get out a Magnezone. What am I talking about? Oh, a Shaman. Okay, Shaman works as well to draw 6 cards. Now, like I said earlier, you know, usually dropping EX is a bad in this kind of mirror like match that doesn't play EX Pokemon. Because now for Zach, that's an easy 2 prize cards. Like, oh, there's my last 2 prize cards I'm going to take, is what Zach can say. So we're gonna see Shaman drawn up to 6. We're gonna see Super Rod. I put it back like an Octillery or Remoraid. I think so. Not sure what all Justin put in there. Let's see what else. We see a Sycamore, and we see a Raikou, we see a Magnemite, we see a Pikachu EX. Alright, but the problem is, it doesn't seem like Justin has a supporter card next turn, which is always a key crucial thing in the game nowadays. Now, just get pass from Justin, like nothing really you could do turn 1. We see an Eevee come down, we see a Vespiquen come down, a DC, a Muscle Band, a Battle Compressor. I don't know if the Muscle Band came down or not, but it definitely is in play now. And like I said earlier, I'm not sure why Zach didn't attach the DC turn 1. Like, yeah, you could be scared of Jirachi, but like, now Zach has to hit a switch and or AZ. I'm not sure what Zach's, like, I don't know what he has in his deck, so obviously I can't tell that. But we'll see Zach play a Battle Compressor, discarding a Glade, a Blacksmith, and something else. And it looks like it's just gonna see a pass from Zach. All right, so on to Justin's turn. Oh, and he attaches a lightning energy pass. So on to Zach's turn, we see a flare and come down, and we see a pass. On to Justin's turn, we see a lightning energy. Retreat to retreat the Reiku. Send up, do 30 with Shaman. On to Zach's turn. Okay, so Zach's first one to top deck a supporter out of the supporter drought. Now Zach does have that fire energy. He can retreat the Spinnerack. We see an unknown come down, and this is okay. So an unknown for a Combi. Now once again, Zach, I don't think you need to play an unknown right now. Okay, that's not a. Oh, he might have like we see two Combis already discard out of the prize cards, so maybe that's why he opted not to get one. Maybe there's not one in the deck. I'm not sure how many he's already discarded. We can see a fire energy attached to the Spinnerack. Retreat to the Vespiquen, and we're going to see a B Revenge. Is it a knockout? 20, 30, 40, 50. Looks like 90. Okay, nope, that's a knockout. Wow. I don't know how many Pokemon in this card pile, but it's enough. I counted like 9, just like spouted out. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, 2 is 110. So it must be like a little bit more than that, because I wouldn't have knocked out the Reiku. We see an Ultra Ball from Justin discarding a Lightning, and not sure what this other card's going to be. Let's see what he decides to discard. Another lightning energy, okay. And let's see what Zach gets here. Or not Zach, Justin. So you see a Magnezone coming down. So if Justin does have the rare candy Magnezone, he could easily go back into this game and start taking one prize knockouts over and over again like we saw in game 1. Now let's see what Justin does here. He is taking a second to shuffle. Okay. So we're going to see a rare candy Magnezone. And it looks like he's looking to see what he's all played. This turn. We see some lightning units going energies. We see a Professor Letter, and that Vespiquen is going to get knocked out. Okay, so now Zach is in a pickle because, like I said earlier, he doesn't have another Combi down to actually attack this turn unless Zach does play Forest of Giant Plants. And we're gonna see a Shaman drawn up to 6. Wow, Justin just keeps on going, just keeps on trucking along, and looks like we're gonna see a knockout turn 1 or turn 2. I think it's turn 2 for Justin. Might be turn 3. I can't keep up right now. They've had a long game 1. But everything's working out for Justin for sure right now. That Reiku's going to get knocked out. The Vespiquen is doing like 130. We see a Magnemite, a Shaman, a Reiku, and knock out the Vespiquen. Alright. On to Zach's turn. And let's see what Zach decides to attack with this turn. He doesn't have like I said, he doesn't have a Combi down, so he can't really attack with Vespiquen this turn, unless he plays like Force of Giant Cities, or not Force of Giant City, Force, what's it, Giant Plants? I can't remember what it's called right now. Force of Giant Cities. Oh my goodness. Alright, so let's see what Zach decides to do here. It doesn't look like Zach really has anything. Oh, we already saw a pass from Zach. Oh, okay, we saw him Light Center the Shaman and pass. Sorry, I was trying to figure so much about the Force of Giant Cities that I forgot what I was talking about. Alright, so we do see a Light Center from Zach. It looks like time has been called, though. It looks like it's turn 2 on Justin's side, which means that Justin will win this game because they had a long game 1. Game 2, nobody has really taken a prize card. It looks like I'm going to see a retreat from Magnezone, take a knockout on the Reiku, and it's like it's turn 3 on Zach. So yeah, that's pretty much the game there. It's going to be turn 3 on Zach. Zach's going to run out of turns, and Justin will win because he won the first game. Alright, so Justin will probably go 1-0 or 1-0 this series. Doesn't look like the complete game number 2, and Justin will move to, I think, 3-0 or maybe 2-1. I can't remember exactly. I think he's 3-0 at this point in this tournament. So we're gonna see Professor Birch getting 4. We see a Vespiquen coming down, and looks like we'll see B Revenge for the knockout, or maybe not. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Time has been called, and we see that Justin does win this series overall. Like I said, it is best 2 out of 3. So basically, the way you have best 2 out of 3 works is if you don't finish like game 1, if you like, let's say, obviously Justin won game 1 and time was called, and the way time works is it goes plus 3 turns, so it'd be 0, 1, 2, 3, and at the end of that, whoever has the most prize cards taken, it's like it's a lot of ruling going on. Basically, you have to take 4 more prize cards for your game to count, and if not, that game doesn't count, and that game ends in a tie. It's different whirling, but let's say like Justin won game one, Zach won game two, and during game three, time is called. Then it's kind of like a tie. It's a little bit trickier than that, but we see Justin win the series because he won the first game, and in the second game, time was called, and then didn't finish it. So there we go. Justin moves on. I'm pretty sure he's 3-0 with his Magnezone Raikou deck. Game one, it took him a little while to get out of Magnezone for sure. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you joined the Cities tournament. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see what happens in round 4 of the Memphis Cities tournament.